And welcome to Schenectady today, in and around the Capital Region. We're so happy you're joining us today. We've got a lot of really great events to talk to you about today, and we've got our guests that are going to tell you all about them. We've got a group coming in from Schenectady. This is going to be a very interesting event. They're celebrating a centennial. We've got a lot of other things coming up as well. I do want to mention that our lineup today will be, we're going to be talking about Jazz on Jay, which is a wonderful event all summer long in Schenectady, and we'll tell you all the details on that. We even have one of the performers with us that will tell us about his participation in it. We're going to be talking about the Juneteenth celebration, which is coming up as well, the end of slavery, celebrating that. We're going to be talking about the play Rumors by Neil Simon, and that will be with the Classic Theater Guild. We're also going to be talking about the Strawberry Festival on Upper State Street, which is Upper Union Street, which is always a fabulous event. And then we will be going to the Old Stone Fort Museum and also to Schenectady to find out about their centennial movies. This is an incredible event, and I can't wait to have you hear all about that. And then we're going to hear about the Seroptimus Garden tour that's coming up as well. They come on every year to talk about that. We'll be talking about that as well. Also, from the breaks today, I always try and find something that kind of goes along. And we're going to talk about summer night to get you all in the mood for celebrating that big summer night that's coming up in July. We have a lot of great events going on in Schenectady, and we're going to start out with one that is an annual, and that is the Jazz on Jay. And next to me I have Nat Phipps. He's a musician, and also Karen Johnson, who's one of the organizers. We're going to hear all about that. So let's start out. Karen, do you want to kind of give us an overview of this?
Well, sure. We're in our 23rd year of Jazz on Jay, and it all started because of Schenectady 2000, and we've been at it ever since, and it's getting more and more popular. And the good news is Proctor's just bought us some extra chairs because we needed them
We
badly.
needed some chairs. Yeah, they're plastic, so rain doesn't worry if it rains.
It doesn't worry the chairs, but it worries the musicians.
Yeah, of
quite
course,
a bit.
of course. You don't want your instruments to get wet,
Absolutely.
do you?
So we're every Thursday from June 1st to August 3rd, 31st, and we go from noon to 1:30, and people can come and go. Whatever is comfortable for
Bring your
them.
lunch, sit down, or buy lunch right on the pedestrian way because there's so many great
Right.
restaurants there.
And it's free thanks to the Schenectady County and MVP Healthcare and the City of Schenectady and quite a few others.
That participate to help this go. And you work with the Musicians Union as well, I
Yes,
believe.
and the Musicians Union assists us in helping select the musicians and also in making sure they're paid a union rate.
Yeah, well, that's important as well. But one of the things that I like about what you do is you also try to incorporate at least one new musical group a year, if you can, to highlight them.
Right, and this year, it's the young people from SCCC, the Madeline Seville Quartet, and they are going to play on June 15th. And this is the third year we've taken young people out of Schenectady Community College, and it is absolutely amazing how good they are.
Oh, yeah, they're talented. So, Nat, have you played here before?
Yes, I have.
I think so. I saw you on film.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I believe I've been playing Jazz on Jay probably 10 to 15 years now.
You play keyboard? Is that
Yes.
Yeah, keyboard. Okay. And how long have you been playing? Did your,
Wow.
your mama teach you at her knee?
No, but it's there genetically.
Oh, it is generic.
My brothers and sisters, we all are musicians, not professionally, but they all have played an instrument, singing first.
But you went out and really hit it big, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, I had a twin brother. Unfortunately, he died 4 years ago, but we both were professional musicians.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So and do you have a group? Is that it, or do you kind of morph into different groups?
Well, both. I actually have my own group, but when I'm not engaged, if I get a call, I will go with whomever, depending on what
Availability, yeah.
and what they're asking me to play. Because
Yeah.
I'm not a rock musician, but I I won't say fake it, but I can certainly do a pretty good job.
So how'd you get Nat? How did you hear about him?
Well, we have a planning meeting of all various musicians in the area, And they said, there's this great guy, Nat Phipps, and he's from New Jersey. They kept telling me he's from New Jersey, and that's the only thing I knew about him. But considering the quality of the musicians that help us select the groups, I figured it was a very good idea to hire Nat. And
Yeah.
I love listening to him play.
It's great,
Thank
great. Yeah. I wish we had some footage. We didn't bring any footage of you, did we? If I get a piano in here, will you start playing?
Well, I don't think so, because by the time you get it down here, my segment.
I think your segment's going to be over. Good. So tell us, Karen, about the number. What are some of the other groups that you're having? We put this. I think I typed them all in, so they should be there.
Okay, well, we've got the Hot Club of Saratoga, which is a really interesting, kind of unusual group. It's going to play on June 8th.
Are they all jazz, or are they different?
Well,
Because I know sometimes you have like.
they're all different.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And Nat can probably tell you what the definition of jazz is. I don't know.
I know, nobody seems to know.
Well, it's very genetic. I mean, you know, the idea is what you bring as your interpretation of it is, and if you say you're a jazz musician, that's
That's
jazz.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay,
So
we-
Hot Club of Saratoga can be jazz musicians.
Why
Yes.
not? Why not? Why not? Let's get flexible.
Based on Jazz on J, they are jazz musicians.
Right, so Nat's playing on the 20th of July. Michael Benedict, who is quite a well-known artist
Oh
in the
my gosh,
area,
I just heard him recently. Oh my.
on July 13th. And we have Tim Olson, who is a professor of music at Union College, is going to play with a group on August 3rd. Dylan Canterbury, who's quite a well-known musician, on August 10th. And the final concert is going to be A3, which is an acoustic group, no modifications. It's all strings,
Oh.
guitars, etc.
Yeah. So no, we're not vamping them up with wires or anything.
No.
So it's all
Right.
acoustical.
Electronic
Are you going
device.
to be doing anything at Summer Night?
Yes, we have a presentation at Summer Night, and that's, I'm trying to remember who it is,
I
but it'll
shouldn't have
be
done this to you.
starting at 5:30,
Okay.
and
Well, once
it's
you
a
get the name,
great,
yeah.
great
We'll publicize that,
opportunity
yeah.
to hear it.
And then, one of the things is that Summer Night really.
Sunny and Pearly.
Oh, Sunny and Pearly. Oh yeah, I know them.
Yeah, so do
They're
I.
really good.
They
This is
sure
how
are.
our mind works.
Yeah, no,
about
that's-
lag of so many seconds.
I know. Believe me, when I'm sitting here, it's like my mental Rolodex is spinning. It's going around. Find it, find it, find it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any teleprompters here. If it isn't up here, it isn't anywhere. So.
Wow. I'm impressed.
No, I'm impressed at what you do. Yeah. So if people want to enjoy this, all they need to do is come down to the pedestrian mall at downtown Schenectady.
Anytime between noon and 1:30. And we do have a procedure where if it rains, we move into Proctor's, into Robb Alley. And usually we put up on our Facebook about 10 o'clock what we're going to do
What
about
you're
the
going to
weather.
do. So check that out as well. And I'm sure you can probably even call Proctor's and they'll tell
Yeah.
you. But the important thing is that it's a wonderful hour and a half of music. Bring your lunch, sit outside, and bring your friends. And the other addition to it, which we haven't mentioned, is that the farmers market is going on at the same time.
Absolutely, and that was a brilliant thing. And it may have been Maureen Gebert who
And Maureen's going to be on the
connected
show.
that,
Yeah.
right? So you can get our whole history.
I'll get the whole history on that too. But well, thank you so much, Nat, for being here and
My
for
pleasure.
bringing music into our lives.
Thank you.
Very good music into our lives. Good. Karen, thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. And we have to give a big, applause to Karen for working very hard on this and also the Kids Art Festival too, which was a huge success. We're going to take a quick break, take a look at Summer Night. When we come back, we'll be talking to our friends from the Hamilton Hill Art Center. We're going to be talking about Juneteenth. Stay tuned. here we are back again. That was the puppet people that you saw there, and they were at the Kids Art Festival too, and they are every year, and we're always pleased to have them. Right now I have Mickey Kahn sitting next to me and Betty Harper next to her, and they are co-chairs of the Juneteenth celebration, which is the end of slavery. And why is it called Juneteenth?
Well,
Could we not figure the date? I'm only kidding.
Part of it.
yeah. It's a mixture of June and 19th
Oh.
because it was on June 19th, I'm so bad at my dates.
That's okay. Back then.
1863, I
Okay.
believe, or 1865, that the news finally reached Texas that the slaves had been freed.
Yeah, well, there was a real issue there because they didn't recognize it, and then they, well, maybe they, well, you know, one of those things.
Exactly. Texas was hoping
Yeah.
to
You're still
keep
trying,
their
right?
slaves. Right.
But so we're celebrating the end of slavery, which
Yes.
is momentous.
It is. It
Momentous.
is. It's a significant achievement in
Yeah.
our history.
And so, what do you do? You're starting out with Vale Cemetery. Why Vale Cemetery?
Well, we honor our ancestors there. At some point in time, I don't remember exactly when it occurred, but it was found that we have many very important slaves that are buried there. So they really cleaned the area up really nice, and now they keep it very beautiful.
I've been to the celebration
Yes.
at Vale Cemetery, and it's very touching.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So we have Walter Simpkins from Community
Yeah,
Fathers.
yeah, yeah.
He takes over and puts a really nice program together.
Yeah.
And following the really nice program, we have an ice cream social for everyone that's sponsored by Stewart Shop.
And now, when is this? Is that going to be on
The 16th.
the 16th,
that
which
Friday.
is Friday?
Yes.
So that's in the evening, or
From
Yeah,
6 to
starting at
8.
6.
6 to 8. Okay, and then and then Stewart's helps you out with having a little ice cream
They,
after
they
that.
sent us plenty of ice cream.
Yes, and it's important to honor those that have passed on.
Yes.
Yes.
And are you familiar with all the names and their
Well,
history?
one always sticks in my mind, and that's Viney, Moses Viney.
Yes.
And I think basically it sticks in my mind because Walter Simpkins does his dress as Moses Viney.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's a,
Yes.
yeah.
And it's a reenactment. You know, he speaks to us as Moses
Moses,
Viney
okay.
coming back to join us at the
Yes.
Juneteenth
Oh my
celebration.
gosh! How just what a wonderful celebration! And then you party on the following day.
Oh, yes. We have an afternoon of education, fun, entertainment, and it's great.
And I think you sent some photos. I don't know whether he brought them up. Well, there's some. Oh, I guess you do have fun.
Yeah.
Got a clown.
A clown.
Yeah, and a nice crowd of people that
Yes.
come. And is it over by Music Haven that you do some of it?
Well, we have the entire park.
Or entire park? Okay.
We have things going on in the pavilion, like Bokwa and Zumba, and there's a Soul Train line that's going to be happening
Oh,
over
cool.
there.
I love that. That's
So at those times, we'll have a little down time at the stage while we prepare, and so everyone gets to go over and participate in the other things that are going on in the pavilion.
Food?
Plenty of
Food.
Gotta have
food.
food.
Plenty of-
Vendors,
gotta have food.
yes, we have food vendors, information tables. We have quite a few people in the community that like to get their information out, so they have tables.
I think it's
and-
good too to get to. A lot of it has to do with health and things, which it's
Yeah.
important you get that out. When I mentioned food, I went to the Hamilton Hill Arts Gala, and oh my gosh,
yes.
wasn't that food
The brunch,
something? I had
yes.
never had. What was it? A red velvet waffles with.
Yes.
I mean, it was like, what are these? And they were so good with fried chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
I mean,
was
talk
over
about
at
something different. It was so good.
the, yep, that was at the casino.
Yeah, at the casino, yeah.
And they were sponsors for that event. And I think we were their first big
You were there first.
event.
I talked to Carney,
Yeah,
and she mentioned
yeah.
that.
Yeah. They're also our sponsors for Juneteenth as
Oh,
well.
wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
But the food was really amazing. And I mean, everything was, people just were going nuts over the food. It
Yes.
was- and I thought, well, this is really, you really hit it.
Different, yeah.
You nailed it. So if you want, and this is, the event at Central Park and at Vail is open to the public, is that correct?
Yes, free.
So I think it's important to kind of underscore that, because many, you know, some kids are homeschooled and may not get the history that they should get, if they just get out and
Yes.
see living.
You're absolutely right,
Yeah.
because in my church, Mount Olivet, I go around and try to grab the youth to be volunteers for Juneteenth. And when I say to a couple of them, you know, wouldn't you like to come on out and volunteer to help me with Juneteenth? And they're like, June what?
Well, like I did. Well, did you go?
So, you know, I realized I
Now I'll
spoke to
know
my
that it's
pastor.
19,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
I spoke
right.
to my pastor, you know, I said, we need to have a little schooling
Yeah.
on Juneteenth. Children should know, all of our children should know the history
Well,
of
they
it.
forget history.
I
I mean, it's
know.
like when you talk about war, somebody, you know, the kids they don't know Vietnam, they don't know
Yeah.
Korean. I guess those are conflicts. Who the heck knows? They just give it a
Right.
different name every time. But all I know is they use guns, and that's a war to
Yeah.
me. So,
Well,
but
in fact, it was news to Betty and me as well. We had not heard of Juneteenth. A friend of mine, this is 17 years ago, kept saying, you need to do a Juneteenth. And
you're saying,
I
"What's
was,
that?"
what's that? And I think for Schenectady in general, it wouldn't surprise me that people didn't know what it was.
well,
because
I
it
only
was-
know because you've done it for so many years,
Exactly.
and it's such a celebration. But we do want to encourage you to go over there and enjoy some of the great food and music, and it's a celebration, and it should be a celebration of the end of one of the most horrific things that ever happened
Yeah.
to any group of people. So,
Yes.
Right.
it's
Exactly.
important.
Yep.
Important, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you both for being here.
You're
It's always
welcome.
good to
Thank
see you
you
both.
for having
Thank
us.
you.
Yeah, it's always
Yes.
fun to see you.
Yes.
I'm Ann Frillo. You're watching Schenectady today in and around the Capital Region. We're going to take another look at summer night. You going to summer night? You always do,
Oh,
right?
always.
Got to check that
Yeah.
out. We're going to hear about rumors, and not the rumors you're thinking about, but maybe it is. Stay tuned.
Fancy meeting you here. How are you? Hey, how are you doing? So far, I don't know yet. We just got here a little while ago. So they're walking around and then thank you. Yeah. On our side, we are making turkey. I thought what is she making? It is on the side turkey.
And here we are back again. It was my pleasure to have four wonderful guests with us. One is the Assistant Director, Phil Bruns, and he's behind me over here. And then next to him is Mr. O'Flaherty, O'Farrell, Michael O'Farrell, I got that right. Yeah, I'm not looking at names, so I'm just trying to remember them. And of course, Cheryl Charbonneau is here, and Maria
Opedisano.
Pedizano. It's an Italian, I ought to be able to spit that right out, right? But anyway, and I hate to mispronounce names. Jeez, I better go brush my teeth or wash my mouth out again so I can talk right. But anyway, we're talking about rumors, and rumors. Neil Simon wrote so many plays, so many wonderful plays. So we're going to go back here and ask, what's rumors about? To the assistant director who is telling everybody what to do.
Well, it's about the deputy mayor of New York, who you actually never see in the whole show. It's a party at his house, and well, it starts off kind of frantic, and it's just a mess. Let's just say that.
Does somebody?
There's a gunshot, and that's what starts the whole show.
Okay, okay, and then?
And then me and my wife, I'm actually in the cast too.
Oh, you're in the cast
I
too.
play her husband, Ken Gorman.
Okay.
We arrive first, and he gets shot through the earlobe. I'll tell you that much. And we arrive first.
Tough
and
way
we're
to get
trying
pierced ears, right?
There's a big to-do with his doctor, and then the next guests arrive, and we're trying to hide it from them, and it's just...
So where does it get its name, rumors?
Well, there's a lot of gossip in the show.
Okay,
Everyone's
so
trying to
that's where
figure
the
out what
rumors-
happens.
Okay, good. So Mike, what are you playing here?
I'm playing Ernie Cusack. He's an analyst, a psychiatrist, and I believe one of the couples is one of my clients, at Claire. And,
Claire over there, Cheryl Charbonneau.
And so I'm kind of, I would probably say I'm supposedly the most level-headed one of the group, supposedly, although I do lose it.
I'm sure you have a few lines in
Sometime
there
during
that
the
will
play.
get a few laughs.
Yeah, I try to keep my cool, but then I explode.
Okay.
And so it's the fun part. I'm enjoying it very much.
And Classic Theater Guild, they always pick such great plays, and it's classic. And of course, this is one of the classics of Neil Simon. And Cheryl, I love your dress.
Oh, thank you.
You're going to wear that in the play,
Yes, I am.
and that's stunning.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. See, this is my best friend. So, in the show, so we decided to wear the same color to the
Not really,
to the
just
party.
the way it turned out.
No, I'm just
Way it
kidding.
turned out, but they're different-
we
they're
decided
different
to
shades.
justify
They're
it.
different shades,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
But anyway, so this is your dress, is that correct?
Yes, this is my dress.
But this is not your dress. Well, it is
No.
now, but what? I mean, tell me.
well-
Stand up and show your dress.
Isn't that beautiful?
And I have a line in the show that says,
Oh, you're Mike.
that says I paid $1,200 for this dress, so it actually really is appropriate, and it was Fifi's Frills and Frolic. She has a consignment shop on Western Ave, and she...
You found that there.
Well, yes. She said, come on down, and I will loan dresses, jewelry, shoes, whatever you need. And I went down and found a $1,200 looking dress, which is perfect for my line.
I bet that. Yeah, that.
And it
that
didn't
could
need
be.
hemming, and I'm short, so it didn't need any hemming, and it was perfect.
That's amazing. So you got, and so this is what's the time period?
The
for play?
80s.
The 80s.
Late 80s. Yeah.
Late 80s. Okay, good. And how many are in the cast, Phil?
There's a cast of 10.
10. Okay, good. So it's a nice cast. Easy to work with. Are they good?
Oh yeah, they're all very easy to
The
work
rest
with.
of you stop listening. Are they a good group?
Oh yeah, great group. Yeah.
And this is your last show for the season, I understand, isn't it? Is it?
Well, there's a summer show as well. It's a
What is
Shakespeare
it?
show.
Oh,
Love
you do the
Livers Love.
Shakespeare. You do that outside, right?
Yes, I'm actually directing that too.
We need to get you on the show talking about that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got to work on that as well. Now, the thing is, where is this going to be so people know where and when?
The Congregation Beth Israel in Schenectady, 2195 Eastern Park,
Right.
Pikeway.
Yeah, it's right up the top of the hill. Or,
Yep.
Well,
Right
almost
off
the
of
top.
Union,
Yeah,
yeah.
right up there. And how come? Okay, now your dates are the 8th, and then you got the next weekend, and then the 18th. How does that work?
Well, it's we couldn't do the shows there Friday and Saturday because there's a holiday, a Jewish holiday.
Yes.
But
The
yes.
Sabbath.
Yep. So it's the 8th and then the 11th.
And
We
what
have
is
two
the 8th?
shows.
What day is the 8th?
Thursday.
Thursday.
At
Okay.
7:30 is the
Okay.
show. Then we have 2 on Sunday, 3 o'clock and then 7:30.
Okay, so 2 on Sunday.
Yep. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7:30 again, and then Sunday at 3.
That's unusual to have them at the beginning of the week because I
Yeah.
like that because there's so many shows, like everything's going on at the end of the week. It's nice to have it at the beginning of the week.
And that Tuesday actually is a 2 for $20 sale, so you get 2 tickets for $20 as
Okay.
opposed to 1 for $20 on other nights.
Oh, well, that's good.
a good deal.
That's a good deal. So what? So you've got a cast of 10, and you're going to be starting. Well, the 8th is coming right up. Right? Yeah, that's right. I'm just looking at the dates here to see that. And I know Cheryl's been on the stage a lot. I remember her from way back when she talked about saying the cookbook of love. Remember that?
I'll never forget it.
And
One of
Maria,
the highlights
Yeah, one of the highlights
of my life.
Right. And Maria, how long have you been acting?
Oh, goodness, probably 30, 40 years.
So you've been acting a long time.
Yes,
Too.
I was in Classic Theater Guild's Odd Couple. I had the
Oh, that was
Olive
such the-
Madison role.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was
yes,
wonderful. Yeah,
yeah.
that's such a great thing. And how about you, Michael?
Go back about 1975. I worked with the Saratoga Arts Workshop, Homemade Theater.
Homemade theater. Yeah, that's still around.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, I was one of the beginning people there.
Okay.
along with,
You were the founder.
Jonathan
Yeah.
Foster. Well, no. Jonathan Foster and Sue was the
Okay.
the original director and founder.
Okay.
And Susan Miller, terrific general manager. And so I was in that group, and then I've worked with Albany Civic and Schenectady Civic, a number of other.
Once you get started, you just move around. How about you, Phil?
I've been acting about 8 years since high school. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a newbie.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sort of. I mean, with all these seasoned actors here, you're doing
Yeah.
good. And you're directing and you're telling them what to do. Doesn't that give you a little power?
A little bit, yeah.
Good. So please check out the play. You will not be disappointed with Classic Theater Guild. They've won some awards for some of their productions, so check it out. And what's really nice is at the beginning of the week, so you don't have to cram everything at the end of the week. Although there's 2 productions on a Sunday, so you're all set there. Thank you all for being here.
Thank
and
you.
I
Thank
guess I have to say, break a leg.
Oh, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Good.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break, and well, not that break, but anyway, we're going to take and we're looking at Summer Night again. And when we come back, we are going to be talking about that Strawberry Festival. Yum. Must stay tuned. And here I am back again, and you were still watching a little bit of that Summer Night. I'm looking forward to Summer Night.
Me too.
It's
I love
always
it.
fun, isn't it fun?
So
Yeah.
many things to do.
I know, and it was funny. I was helping with Summer Night one year, and somebody came up to me and says, "We're from out of town. Do you do this every weekend?" And it's like, and you did Strawberry Festival. Can you imagine doing that every weekend?
Oh, well, I worked on it a little bit
Yeah,
too, once in
yeah.
a while.
Yeah. No,
And
but
it
I mean
was
the
crazy.
idea of doing it every you can't do that. I
can't,
mean, well, the amount of work that goes into it, other than doing a show like this every week, it's like But anyway, the Strawberry Festival is on Upper Union Street, and it's sponsored by the Business Improvement District as well as other groups. So can you know?
Well, our businesses participate, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, they come out on the street, they think of all kinds of things they can do, and different recipes. We had strawberry salsa one year, and Italian.
I remember that year.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Italian strawberry shortcake. I don't know what.
How is that any different
I
than
don't
my
know.
strawberry shortcake at home?
don't know.
Of course, I'm Italian, so maybe it's the same.
I was too busy to get any. So I
Yeah,
didn't.
well, I wonder how it would be different. I always make mine with biscuit dough. You know, I make my own biscuits.
Unless it has rum in it or
Oh. Oh, okay. All right, that sounds good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so they're.
Well, I'll find out because I'm going to go and find out.
Oh, are you? Okay,
Yeah.
good. We'll see you there.
Yeah. So so you have that, and you have music.
We do. And it's interesting. We started off, I talked to Brian Patnode, who's a well-known musician. He teaches
Yep,
at
I know
community
Brian. Yeah.
college. Yep. And he was going to play. And then about 2 months ago, he realized their second baby was due just about that date. So he changed his mind, but he gave me 2 groups. Both just graduated this year from community college. And one of them, surprisingly, is one that's playing Jazz on Jay.
Oh, okay. That's the one, Seville.
Yeah,
Yep.
Madeline Seville. She'll be at Jazz on Jay 2 days before she's at the Strawberry
Okay,
Festival.
wonderful. What exposure? What nice exposure.
Oh, it is. It's great. She'll be down by Gershon's, 11:30 to 1:30. The other one is Michael Hugo. His group is called Hang.
H-A with an N-G.
Yeah. And he'll be down at Phillips Hardware. He's also played at Jazz on Jay in years past.
Yeah. Well, with Jazz on Jay, and I think you're aware of this, they never have the same groups on 2 years in a row.
No.
So you know, they might be on here, but they'll be on a couple more years or something. We try to alternate so we get a lot of exposure for a lot of the musicians.
Yeah, you don't want to see the same people all the time.
No. Well, I
So,
mean,
yeah. Well, sometimes we do.
yeah, sometimes. I was going to say sometimes. But anyway, so you have food. You have entertainment. I was there the one year when the motorcyclists came through. Do you remember that year?
Oh, they've done that several times.
Have they? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
I
toy.
had that on tape. I was going
Do
to
you
bring
really?
it. I was going to bring it, and I didn't. But
The toy run.
yeah.
They go to
And
Albany.
that was fun, and people were just applauding, giving
playing music
a
real
high
loud.
five, yeah.
I like that. That was
Yeah,
great.
it adds a new dimension to it.
It did.
And you've got a lot of changes up there. They took down the city square, I think it is. And
Yes. They'll be having a
building up.
ribbon cutting within a couple of weeks.
Really?
And expect to be done by the end of the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So lots of changes up there, and you have some nice restaurants up there as well.
Oh, we have about 16 restaurants, I think I
And
counted.
it's a variety. Mm-hmm. It's not all the same.
No, different ethnic groups and
Yeah.
Plenty of Italian, of course.
Of course, well, we're so prominent in the area, but
Yeah,
anyway.
well.
No, but you have other, because, I mean, we got the deli, you know, and we've got I love the Japanese, you know.
Mr. Wasabi.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
bento boxes you get the little boxes
Isn't
for
that,
lunch.
yeah, I like
So
that.
cool.
It is. Union Cafe
It was
is great.
Greek. It has a lot of Greek food
It has
there.
a lot of Greek food. And
Oh, wonderful. Right across the street, we've got
Scotty's.
Central America. Central American. What is it? The food that it's like, that's Central America.
Tesoros, you mean?
Tesoros. Isn't
yeah,
that
she's
Central
from
America?
Colombia, yeah.
Colombia. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
South America. Isn't it? South America. Colombia? South America?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get a map out just a minute while we discuss this. To our
We
geography
don't
all
know
over
our
here.
geography either. So, yeah, she's there, and the Indian place down the street next to the liquor store.
Yeah, yeah. So there's everything. It really is everything. And the fact is, you can walk around. You can stop at Stewart's, get an ice cream cone. You can get a strawberry shortcake. You can walk around, and Dunkin' Donuts moved across the street, so there's a new venue there, and there's just so much going on.
And there's the farmer's market, which
Yeah.
is one place you can get strawberries.
Is that going to be the same day?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you're going to have the farmer's market too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Well, we
on
have
the
it
same-
every Saturday. So.
Oh, it is every Saturday.
And one of the reasons, year when we didn't have strawberries, is because we didn't know when they came ripe. So
Oh, is that what happened?
they weren't ripe.
I wouldn't know. I'd probably say, oh, this is a good date. Is everybody
is-
good with this date?
That's exactly what we did.
And the strawberries go, no, we aren't ready.
Let's see what you're going to do
Yeah,
without us.
I thought that you had some, but you ran out. That was it. That was
Well,
just it was a funny.
Yeah.
I think it's a funny story. I like it.
Yep. Well, we have run out too, so
Yeah, well, that's a good thing.
that's a reason to get there early.
Get there early and get your strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all your entertainment lined up, and you're going to have pony rides?
Oh yes, and baby animals to pet.
Okay,
That will be at the end of Baker Avenue.
okay. How cool.
The proceeds for that go for our scholarship fund.
And you have that every year?
Every year, we give $1,000 to 3 students, one from Schenectady High, Bishop Gibbons, and Niskayuna. And we raise the money for it. It's not, it's not part of our regular budget,
Right,
but
right,
we
right.
raise
You
money
just-
for
yeah.
it, especially for it.
And you have so many great events, as long as we're talking about it, because you do something at Christmas and you do the fall. I mean, there's just so much. It's such a vibrant, I want to say a vibrant downtown, but it is kind of a downtown, but not really. I mean, it's an uptown downtown.
Oh, it's more residential.
Yeah, yeah. And there aren't a lot of those around. There used to be one at Crane Street. I don't know, maybe it still exists, but there's not a lot of them, anymore.
It's a community, it's a community neighborhood,
Yeah.
and we get a lot of participation from the folks that are right around us. I mean, we're
Supported.
only 1 block away from the residential area.
I know.
And 2 blocks from Central Park.
Yeah, jewelry store. I mean, you name it, it's there.
Yeah.
And it seems as though there's never anything very vacant for very long. It's just like, bam, people
No.
want to be there.
And the area's growing. We've got that new Albany Med
Yeah,
urgent
that's
care.
just up in the next block. Yeah. Yeah, so much going on. And, Schenectady is so vibrant. When we talk, I'm showing the summer night, and we're talking about Jazz on J, we're talking about the Upper Union Street, and we're talking about Juneteenth coming up. There's so much going on. There's no reason to say, oh, there's nothing to do, because there is so much to do. And then we're going to be talking about going outside of our community, going to Schoharie to see the films there. There's just so much. So please, get off your duff and get out and do something, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
you know what's fun about these shows? Because there's so much to look forward to
Absolutely.
the whole summer long.
Yeah, and I noticed that Price Chopper just came out with their accordion thing with all the events
Oh,
too.
yes.
So that's really great to
Yeah.
see that as well. Maureen, it's always good to see you.
You too.
Glad you're in there making things happen and making us all
Having
happy.
fun, too.
Absolutely. We're going to take another break, and this is where we're going to Schoharie and talk about their outdoor centennial. Count that, 100 years of movies. Oh my gosh, I had to read that twice. Stay tuned.
The streets is what schooled them and made them slick and slick with the ruler. I've lost a lot and learned a lot, but I'm still undefeated like Shula. And I'm far from cheap, and I break down companies with all my beats. Baby, we could travel the world and I can get you in all you can see, but time is money. Only meant for years, I own it. Like a stopwatch, let's stop time. Woo! And enjoy this moment. One day I'll have my night is long. Gotta enjoy it. I'll be in my castle vault, but until the gates are open, I just wanna be.
And here we are back again in Schoharie County. What a beautiful area that is. You have a lot of carrots out there, don't you? Don't you grow carrots? Don't you grow carrots out there?
Carrots and all kinds of organic things.
Organic
Yes,
things,
indeed.
yeah, just wonderful. And what they have is a drive-in theater too. So we have the owner, Dwight Grimm, who is the owner of the Greenville.
The Greenville Drive-In.
Drive-in 32. You use
Well, we call it's on Route 32.
That's
so
you put the stamp of where it is.
historically, yes, we are Greenville Drive-In on Route 32.
Yeah,
We're
good.
actually technically the Greenville Drive-Ins in Greene County, but the connection there is that when we took over the Greenville Drive-In in 2015, I did a little documentary about the history of our drive-in, and in doing so, I learned about the Schoharie Free Street movies. And at that
What a
time,
connection.
It really is, because I didn't even realize how important the Schoharie Free Street movies were with respect to American film history. And it's been quite a journey for the last 2 years.
And where were you yesterday?
I was in Virginia picking up a film from the Library of Congress. One of the highlights of of the Free Street Movie Centennial this week is we're doing a hand-cranked projection of the very first...
Hand crank?
Hand-cranked.
Oh my God! Where did you get a hand crank?
The projector is coming from Boston. We have sort of a legendary...
This is momentous.
This is a big deal. The projectionist.
I'm not ignoring you. That's okay.
The projectionist is fairly legendary in the film world. He's the guy who basically, when Quentin Tarantino came out with Hateful Eight and wanted to do 70mm projections around the country, he brought in Chapin to be able to do all of the projections for them. So
wow.
He's doing us the honor of coming from Boston with the hand-cranked projector, and we're going to show. It's the first reel of the first film. And if you know anything about early American cinema,
we're talking 1917.
This is 1917. Very, very, very few of those films still exist because the film stock was flammable and explosive.
Not only that, but they used silver, and then they kind of tried to.
Well,
they still tried to get the silver back out of it.
They still use silver, but what they coated the film stock with, or the base of the silver emulsion. Was actually
cellulose, didn't they use cellulose?
They used this nitrate that is effectively
flammable, yeah.
Basically gunpowder.
Yeah, exactly.
So very few
Nitroglycerin, nitro?
Yeah, very few of these films still exist. So the fact that the very first one still exists is fairly amazing.
And they're letting you borrow it?
Not the original. They made a copy.
Oh, they made a copy.
They made a copy on safety film in 1974, and that's that is what we are projecting, and the projector is a Power 6B, which is the same model that we actually have at the Old Stone Fort.
And let's talk about that museum.
Yeah, absolutely. The Schoharie County Historical Society operates a museum at the Old Stone Fort, which was a Revolutionary War historic site. It really was a fort? Yes, it was. But it is a local history museum. We're in our 128th year. And so we actually have the original projectors that were used for the Schoharie Street movies from 1917 to 1942. And we have them in our collection.
And what's particularly momentous is the fact that, so from 1931 until 1933, the only place in the entire world you could see outdoor talkies was Schoharie, New York, because their head projectionist invented the system to allow outdoor talkie projections, and so the original sound heads that he installed in 1931 are still on these projectors. So it's really effectively they're sort of the first, if you will, drive-in projectors are still at the Old Stone Fort.
And I'm such a movie buff, so this is just you don't do the glass slide projectors, do you?
The magic lantern.
Not for this particular event.
No, but I mean,
we have one.
You have one too, yeah. It's amazing. So, tell me what I would find at the museum.
Well, as I say, it's a local history museum, so everything from pre-Revolutionary War artifacts all the way up to things related to the flood of 2011, and the advancing present. So we concentrate mostly on things that are related to Schoharie County. So people might offer us a spinning wheel that Great Aunt Clotilda used in Utica. Well, we've got Schoharie spinning wheels.
We want Schoharie stuff.
And we only have room for Schoharie stuff, truly. I know. It's when you've been collecting for 128 years.
Yeah.
Places
how large is it? I'm not aware of it, and I'm going to come visit you.
Sure.
Because I really want to check it out. But how large is the museum? I mean, it's a fort, so I'm assuming a fort is big, but it may not be.
Right.
And revolutionary might be just a little thing where 10 people huddle in there and
it's actually a 7-building.
Do their muskets.
It's actually a 7-building museum complex.
It is 7. Okay.
The fort building was actually built as a church in 1772. It was used as a fort surrounded by a stockade during the Revolutionary War. That's why it's referred to nowadays as the fort. But then the stockade was removed. It went back to being a church and went through several other uses before it finally became a museum in 1889.
So it's been a museum since the 1800s.
128 years, yes.
That's pretty amazing.
It is. And then the Historical Society preserved other historic buildings and moved them to the site. We have 25 acres in total, which includes some of the battlefield around the fort, because it was in fact attacked in 1780 by British and Loyalists. So it's a local history museum, it's a Revolutionary War historic site, and in this case, when the head projectionist for the street movies passed away in 2006, I believe it was, he gave us his collection. And that's how we got the, he gave it to us before he passed away, but that's how we got the projectors, we've got cameras, we've got radios. He ran an electronics store in the village from 1925.
So he had his own collection.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's part of our
Ed was fairly extraordinary, and the reason that we know so much about what happened during the street movies is because Ed kept great records, and he also had a wonderful collection of photographs from the street movies. So we actually know kind of what happened, which is good because a lot of the newspaper records have been lost to time.
Now, we did have pictures. I know that he was, were you showing the pictures? I'm sorry. Yeah, so he's been showing the pictures that you sent.
Right.
As we were talking, I was looking
Right.
at you and not the screen. There, we're looking at, oh my goodness. I mean, so people really come out to these movies, and look at that.
At the height of it, they were getting as many as 100,000 people in a season coming to Schoharie, which when you consider that the population of the village is 800 or 1,000 people,
they were sleeping on the streets.
They were pretty much sleeping on the streets, but they were wildly popular, and it was so popular regionally that there was even a special bus that left here from Schenectady and went to the Schoharie street movies. And in fact, a lot of the information we have found to sort of support what happened actually came from the Schenectady Gazette, because they kind of kept tabs on what was happening in Schoharie.
And the Gazette's been around a long time, but we're talking about this, but we want to get people there, right?
Right.
So let's talk about when it is, and it looks like you've got two dates.
That's right. What we're doing is the street movies were shown every Thursday in the summer from 1917 to 1942. So Thursday the 8th is the actual 100th anniversary Thursday from the first outdoor showing, and the film that was shown was The Awakening of Helena Richie, and that's what we will be reenacting.
One of the Barrymores was in that, yeah.
Right, Ethel Barrymore. So we're going to reenact that on Thursday evening, along with an excerpt from the first talkie that was shown there in 1931 on the original site, because the screen was originally stretched between two cast iron lampposts in front of the county courthouse.
Somebody's bed sheet was out there.
Which are still there.
Yep.
So we're going to reenact this, and it's going to be a fairly short event. It starts at 7, but we can't actually show the movies till it gets dark,
Right.
which will be 9 o'clock. But just like they did in 1917, we will close Main Street. We will have cars,
entertainment.
antique cars, and people sitting on Main Street to watch the movies for about an hour.
This is momentous.
and
This
then-
is something that has to be covered by the press.
Right. Well, that's the idea of the Thursday reenactment. And then Saturday is the big community block party celebrating the anniversary.
And
so
is
we're going
everybody invited to this?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
And it
you
is-
don't have to be a
and it
Schoharie
is
resident.
free. That is that's
It's a free
among,
event.
among the most important aspects of this this whole concept was the fact that it was free.
Yeah.
Nobody in this day and age, they were showing movies in various places, but nobody had this idea of like, we'll do it as a free concert effectively as a community organization. And Schoharie kind of created this very unique model that nobody else had seen at that time.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm going to try and get there because it sounds like a wonderful event. But anyways, and I am a movie buff, so this would be just wonderful. I watch TCM all the time because of the old, some of the silent films as well. We've got really two great guests. I hope that you'll get out there and see that. We've been talking with Dwight Grimm and also with our the museum director here and from there, and we are very happy to have him with us as well, Carl Kopecki, and it's going to be a great night. 2 nights. Go there. Check it out. I'm Ann Trillo. Thanks for watching. We're going to take another break, and we'll be talking about the Seroptimus Garden Tour.
Let me hear you sing it. I just wanna feel this moment. Oh, I just wanna feel this moment. Give it up for our dancers out there. You guys are wild, and I hear that I hear they're the wild ones. Is that what you heard? When we get live, it's no surprise. Take so high, jumping, don't stop, surfing the crowd. Ooh, so they gotta be the man at the head of my band, my step or two. Shut them down in the club like a playboy does, so we all get loose, loose. At the bar, so we all get bent and again tomorrow. Gotta break loose, cause that's the motto. But you're better in the club,
And here we are back again, and with me I have two guests. I have Frida Tansky. She has been on the show before, and we've talked about the great garden tour that's coming up that is sponsored by the Seroptimists. They raise a little money that way, and we have Barbara Andre Maxwell with her as well, and she is with the, she's a treasurer. She handles the money, makes sure that it goes to the right places, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So you have a garden tour coming up, and I see it's Saturday, June 17th from 10 to 4. Where are those gardens?
There's 8 gardens. There's 3 in Rexford. That's
Okay.
where it's not
Yeah, that's okay.
Schenectady,
That's
but
good.
it's very close.
You need space.
And 3 in Niskuna and 2 in Schenectady.
Okay, good. And how do they just drive? How do they know where they are?
Well, once they buy the ticket, it's on the back of the ticket.
Okay.
And they drive. It's a self-conducted tour.
Okay.
All the directions are in the booklet, and it's very easy to go.
And where?
However,
yeah,
I just have to say, listening to the other segment, they're having the Strawberry Festival, and one of the directions says to go down Union Street.
Oh, and they can't because it's
I don't know
closed.
what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try to fix it.
Well,
as long as
just
they
get
get over to Eastern Avenue.
No, wait. They don't close the street.
Oh, they don't close the street.
No,
Oh,
because
okay.
the motorcycles go through and the cars go through.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not closed. Don't
Okay.
do anything.
I was.
You're good. You're good to go. No, I mean, I don't ever recall them closing the streets.
Oh, that's
and they have to leave it open too for the fire.
That's true.
Too. So as well. So Barbara, how are you involved with this?
Well,
And what do you have with you?
I have brought a sign with me today. But first of all, I want to thank you very much because I've been here with Frida 3 other times.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate the opportunity that you give us to give this information out to our community.
We want to get people there.
Yes, we do want people to join. The number of merchants and members of our organization that support the fundraising that we do to provide scholarships for women and girls, and we also supply money to numerous community service organizations like My Side, like Working Group on Girls, and something very exciting this year. We have a new alliance with the Schenectady Arc, and they will be.
What a great group.
Oh, they have a horticultural center.
Wonderful organization.
Frida, as a dedicated Seroptimist and garden tour chairperson, has made the arrangement to have the horticultural center of Schenectady Arc sell
they do a lot of
plants at one
plants.
of our gardens, and they're going to be selling plants and herbs and hanging baskets. So that's a new addition. It allows them to raise money for their organization, and of course, it gives them the exposure via Seroptimists.
Yeah,
So we're excited
but
about
I
that.
do know ARC is just so marvelous with plants and things.
But that was Frida's idea, and she worked
for
on it
you.
so. She
Good for
really
you.
worked on it diligently to get it accomplished. She's done an
Yeah.
outstanding job.
Now, of course, they have to buy a ticket to do the garden tour.
And tickets are available at seroptimistofschenectady.org.
Right.
And this year
But you have a lot of other people that are supporting you.
Oh, yes, we have a lot of locations where you can buy tickets, but this year we've added PayPal to our website.
Oh, nice.
So those of you that are familiar with PayPal can certainly use the PayPal program or your own Visa, MasterCard, or American Express and purchase tickets. And Frida, why don't you talk about the price of our tickets?
This year, our tickets are $20 each, or if you get 5, you get 1 free.
So come as a group.
Yes, we have some
Party
groups
on.
coming.
Party on.
But on the day of the tour, the price goes up to $25.
Okay.
So don't hesitate.
No, get your tickets
Get
ahead
right
of time.
out. And
Yeah.
there's another way also. There's the merchants that are selling them. There's the PayPal. But if you go on that site, you can also send in your check, and then I'll just send you the tickets.
Yeah, okay. So that, and I know that your information is there on the web. But they can go to any of these places that sell their tickets, and you can stop in.
It's on the back,
On the
yeah.
back way. Oh, yeah, right. I mean, look at that list of places, all seasons.
Well, they're
Experiences.
not all.
These are your sponsors, or where you buy your
It's
tickets?
on the.
Creative design is, in fact, Rudy and
Yeah,
David
Dave
are on
Siders.
our garden tour.
Yeah.
So one of their garden is going to be one of the gardens
They're,
in
they're,
Schenectady.
they're so artistic, those guys.
And now that they bought that property next door, they were expanding their garden. So if you ever want to see an exquisite, creative garden, you really need to come to our garden tour this year because, and in addition, one of our past presidents, Mary Prettle from TJ Prettles, is also on our garden tour. And we have so many, there's 8 gardens in total, and I know we don't have time to name all the
And
gardeners.
with all this rain, we've certainly gotten, everything's going to be blooming. But before, I'm going to continue with the interview, but I want to tell everybody, because we kind of squeezed this in the beginning, what's coming on next week. We're going to be talking about the Alpha One update. They have a support meeting coming up. Animal Protective Foundation are going to be talking about kittens for adoption. We're going to be talking about birding and more. Richard Guthrie is an authority on birds, but he's also got back from Cuba, so he may be talking about that as well. We're doing a wrap-up on the Kids Art Festival with one of the young artists. And then we have an author on the show, Life Snacks for Women. She's been on before, and Sharon Burston. So, but anyways, we'll get back to the garden tour now, right? They can get their tickets, and when is it? Did we say the date?
It's June 17th.
June 17th.
Rain or shine, 10 to 4. So you
Okay.
can go to the Strawberry Festival in the morning, but you can spend your afternoon going through the gardens and learning how to plant your own strawberries.
Your own strawberries,
That's
so
right.
that you can have some
Yes,
strawberries in the
yes,
backyard.
yes.
I also have to say that the Rose Garden is having the dedication of the pergolas at the same time. And one of the gardens
There's
is
so much
actually
going on,
directly
so much going
across
on,
the
yeah.
street.
One of our gardens
So
is directly across the street from the
It'll
Rose
be hard
Garden.
to park on Central Parkway.
Okay,
So,
and then Juneteenth is going on the same day, too.
yes, in the park. So if you go down, if you go down Wright Avenue, you can park on Wright and walk down the street. It's right on the corner.
Okay.
So
There's just so
there's
much
so
going
much
on.
you just can't. I remember one year there was a race, and we got there and the streets were all closed off.
Well, and then there was also, I think, the same year, there was the Animal Protective Foundation and their Fire Plug 500. I mean, it was like, there was so much going on. As a matter of fact, we went out and we just started filming, and we just went from one to the next, to just filming, because Greg was so good at doing the filming. I got to get back into that, but I haven't done
Mother's Day is past, but Father's Day is Sunday. And there's a lot of fathers that are gardeners. So our tickets, pre-sold at $20 a piece, would make a lovely Father's Day gift.
That's really a
for
great
the
idea,
gardener.
because men are really good gardeners.
They are.
Yes.
So, and we want to keep the carbon dioxide down and the oxygen up by getting lots of plants and trees. Plant everything. So, thank you for watching. I'm Ann Perillo, your host for Schenectady Today in and around the Capital Region.
Thank you, Ann.